Hello and welcome to Big Bad Bat Reps. This is Nick. The campaign continues. This week we're at 2,000 points. It's going to be my Beastmen against Chris's Wood Elves. We rolled up the Dawn Attack scenario, so that's going to be the random deployment one. I'm actually attacking their capital this week. Chris chose to defend. I had a game against a Wood Elf opponent at 1,000 points that didn't go well at all. He's stepping up and hoping he can reproduce that result this week and defend the capital for the good guys. We'll see lists here in a second, but to get up to 2K, I just kind of added more what I already had. I didn't want to change the formula too much. It had been working, so let's let it rip. Here's a look of deployment after scouts. I'll get into that later. But with the list, I bumped my Great Bray Shaman up to a level 4. I gave him Fencer's Blades and a little ward save. My BSB still has 1-up rerollable armor, 5 chariots, 3 units of 6 Ungor Raiders, 666, number of the beast. Still got that big unit of Bestigor with the Standard of Discipline. I bumped up my other unit to 28, gave them the Banner of Swiftness. I got 6 Scouting Harpies and 3 Razor Gore. For Chris's Wood Elves, he's running a level 4 Spell Singer, high magic. He's got the Acorn and the Teleport Through the Woods thingy. 2 units of 30 Glade Guard with Swift Shiver Shards. Those are the ones that give him multi-shot too. He's got 3 units of Deepwood Scouts with Hagbane Tips. Those are the poison, and 8 Sisters of the Thorn. It's going to be a tough one. Here's a look at his right flank. Those are 2 units of Scouts. They deployed there after the random deployment. He did have a unit of Sisters of the Thorn that rolled to deploy in the center, and you can see his other unit, the Glade Guard housing his general, also rolled the center. This is the middle of his deployment. To the left is his general's unit. That was his forest that he got, and he rolled 1 more forest with his Acorn. That's the one right next to it. That's his other unit of Glade Guard with Swift Shiver Shards. Man, say that 5 times fast. That gives him multi-shot too. He's running high magic to probably bolster the ballistic skill of those units. This is going to be tough. It's a lot of shots coming at me every turn. And here's his left flank. Again, he didn't have to deploy anything there, but that's the unit of scouts that he already had deployed there. He had to deploy first, but he only had the 3 units, or the 2 big units of Glade Guard, I'm sorry. Now I have to deploy my whole army after his. This is a look at my left flank. The Razor Gore, the Chariot, and the unit of Bestigor rolled left flank, so I don't really have a choice in that matter. The Chariot, Ungor's, other Bestigor, and Chariot there rolled for center. Those Harpies are there. That is post-deployment scout action. I don't know how wise it is. I don't really have a use for the Harpies here. I scouted them up there with the woods between them. Hopefully they can get into some of those scouts and get some points before they die. Another look at my center deployment. The Ungor's there kind of giving shield. I'm trying my best to give some space between the stuff here to avoid panic avalanche. My general and my BSB are kind of on the one end of the table, and I just didn't want to get all mucked up heading into them. Hopefully I can get some of these things, especially the chariots, into those units, do some impact hits and wreck them. And here's a lonely Razor Gore out on my right flank. He rolled that, so that's where he's stuck. Not a good place to be, but maybe he can cause some trouble. I've had some experience playing Wood Elves with the new book, and we have 3 forests on the board. You can't really see them in this photo, but I'm going to try to get into his lines, obviously, and at the same time try to keep him from doing that teleport thingy. So we'll see what happens. Spells, Wissen's Wild Form, Curse of Anra here, Flock of Doom, hopefully I can shoot some scouts with that, and Savage Beast of Horos. Chris is running high magic on his Spell Singer. He's got Apotheosis, Walk Between Worlds, great, another kind of movement thing. Hand of Glory, probably to boost the ballistic skill of those archers, at least one big unit, and Fiery Convocation. which could prove troublesome. He also has Shield of Thorns and Curse of Anri here from the sisters. I failed to get a picture of Wood Elf movement turn one. There wasn't much. He shuffled the sisters a little bit. Um, Magic was 5 dice to 3. He channeled 1. He casts Curse of Anri here on my the unit of Bestigor with the general in it. I throw my 3 and dispel that. He's got like 1 die left, and he rolls it at Hand of Glory on the general's unit. His general's unit with the 30 Swift Shiver shards. I'm gonna have trouble with that one in this report. And their +1 ballistic skill. Shooting, the scouts work on the harpies. They kill 1. The scouts on the left flank kill that Razorgore out there by himself. No problem. He shoots his general's unit at the Ungors in front and kills 4. And he kills the other Razorgore with the other unit. Well, having all my little support units shot to crap, I charged my harpies into his unit of scouts over the trees. The stand and shoot doesn't get any wounds. I need to get into these guys. It's too many shots, and there's not going to be much of me left by the time I get there. We'll see what happens here with the rest of movement. My left flank pushes up. The center of the chariots move up. Chariots can only move, their base value. Everything else kind of marches up. We need to close on these guys. I'm going to try to occupy that forest somehow with something to keep him from teleporting there later. I've seen that trick before, and I'm not falling for it again. Here you can see the rest of my left flank, or my right flank, his left. I move up the chariots a little bit. That Razorgore died before, got blasted. My Razorgores are just dying. Magic is 10 to 5. I throw a couple dice at Curse of Anri here on the scouts that are in combat with the harpies. There's a bunch of them there. They're going first with rerolls. I don't really like it. Maybe the -1 to hit will help me. I cast it irresistibly. I roll a miscast 12, lose 2 wizard levels for my trouble. I also lose 2 spells, so I'll lose Curse of Anri here when that goes away, and then I forget Savage Beast of Foros. So great, now I'm a level 2, and I know Wissons and Flock of Doom. Curse of Anri here helps a little bit. He goes first and kills one of my harpies. Then I go and kill one of his guys. I charged. He doesn't have any ranks. I win by 1, and he sticks. Wood Elf turn 2. The scouts on the left flank move back a little bit. The right flank scouts move up a little bit. I didn't get a good picture of this. I'm sorry. He shuffles the Sisters of the Thorn around a bit. Magic is 6 to 5. He throws some dice at Shield of Thorns on the scouts in combat with the harpies. They won't survive that, and I want to get that unit and those points and try to get that flank down. So I dispel that, hoping the harpies can win that combat still. And I use my scroll for that, and then I throw the rest of my dice at dispelling Hand of Glory. Wood Elf shooting is taking its toll. He shoots those scouts at that chariot and does a wound to it there. The big Glade Guard unit shoots at the Razorgore and kills it. The other unit of Glade Guard shoot at a chariot in the middle. They're shooting like 50 some shots. It's ridiculous. It's still strength 3. They managed to get a couple wounds on that too. Here you can see just decimation. These are shots going into the razor. It's just, I mean, you roll that many dice. It's strength 3, toughness 5. He's rolling 6s and just murdering my stuff. It's not good. More wounds spread around. Chariots taking wounds, just shooting at stuff, and bad news. The combat over on the end, he goes first and just kills the harpies. They're all dead. Kind of reforms them a little bit. No big deal. Beastmen turn 2. We're moving up. We're marching. The chariots obviously can't, but they move up their max value, trying to cover angles. I do kind of a poor job here. I don't think you can see it in this picture. But when playing Wood Elves, it's really important to play that distance game and covering your angles, making sure they don't have enough movement to get out of your side arcs, and I don't think I quite pull that off with my general unit of Bestigor there on the left. Here's a pic of that failed charge from the chariot on those scouts. The Ungor, I'm just hiding them, just trying to not, it's only a couple points, but I don't want to give up any points to these guys at all. If it's not beneficial to the battle and it's going to get me victory points, I'm not going to give up any other small units because that's playing right into the Wood Elf hands. And just a pic of the Beastmen crashing down on the Wood Elves. We got to get there. That's a little unit filler I made. I like that. Magic dice is 9 to 5. I channel 1. I'm getting good magic phases again. It's cool. Unfortunately, I'm only a level 2. And these are the only 2 spells I have. Flock of Doom and Wissen's Wild Form. I cast Flock of Doom, a couple dice at that, at a unit of the scouts or something, trying to whittle them down or make them panic. He irresistibly dispels that. Then I throw 3 dice at Wissen's Wild Form on the general's unit, because I'm looking at a bunch of Hagbane tips over there, but that doesn't make sense. Anyways, I irresistibly cast it again on 3 dice, miscast 7. That's a strength 10 hit to everyone in base contact, and I lose 3 Bestigor. There you can see the 3 Bestigor died from the miscast, shooting the Ungors that are providing hard cover for the other unit of Bestigor, shoot into the bunker, and I think kill 2. Wood Elf turn 3, he moves the Sisters of the Thorn over on the left flank to kind of protect those scouts. We'll see a picture of that later. He reforms his unit of Glade Guard to the right here. He doesn't have a musician, so he can't swift reform. Not sure what his plan was, but they won't be able to shoot this turn, which saves me a ton. Here you can see the scouts move. I think this is where they moved up from the last turn, or they moved up something. I don't really remember, but they're there. You can see those scouts reformed there again up top, and his general unit stands still, probably getting ready to just shoot the crap out of my stuff again. Magic is 10 to 6. It's a big phase for him. He's got a level 4. I got a level 2. It's not a good scenario for me. This is a really crucial turn too, because I'm kind of getting up in his grill. He throws 4 dice at Curse of Anra here on the general Bestigor unit. He doesn't get a super big roll. I throw 4 dice at it and just come up short and fail to dispel. So now they're cursed, and he's got a bunch of dice to do with what he wants. So he promptly gets Fiery Convocation off on the unit of Bestigor right in front of him with the BSB in it, and they lose 7 to that. They had Wissens on them from the prior turn. That helped a ton, or else I think I'd lose a lot more of those guys. And then he also gets Hand of Glory off on his general's unit of archers, increasing their ballistic skill. Shooting phase over here, these scouts fail to wound this chariot, so hopefully that can get into them next turn and dispatch them. Other shooting, the scouts on the left flank kill 1 Bestigor. The other scout unit shoot at my Ungor in front. They need 6s and miss, or don't kill anything. The Sisters of the Thorn chuck javelins at the general's unit of Bestigor on the left flank and kill 1, or maybe 2. And the general's unit shoots into my unit of Bestigor and kills 6 or 7, quite a few. We'll check it out. Yeah, just volume of shots is whittling down this unit. It's not good. He had Hand of Glory on that, his general's unit that shot into them. They were hitting on like 2s. It was gross. Wissen saved me, and I lose 7 there because I had 28 plus the BSB. Yep, I got 15 left there. Hopefully that's enough to weather a stand and shoot on the way in. Beastmen turn 3. We got stuff in charge range. Let's do it. The general's unit of Bestigor, which is only had a couple taken out of it already, fortunately. They declare a charge on the Sisters of the Thorn. I don't know why you put them there, but they're there, so I'll take that charge and hopefully get those points. They do have Curse of Anra here on them. I can't let that hinder me. I got to get in there. Hopefully, I got enough models. Hopefully, I don't take enough casualties, and I have stuff to do more damage over there on that flank. As you can see from Curse of Anra here charging in, I lose like 8 or 9. It's ridiculous. I declare charges with my Bestigor unit. First with my Ungor unit to get them out of the way. I don't know if you've seen that in other reports, but I like to do that a lot. Sometimes it bites me in the butt. This time it works out. I declare with the Ungors, the Bestigor behind, and all those 3 chariots. I think the Bestigor will get in, and the chariots are going to be a bonus. It might not all fit in, but there's some questionable rolls, and I just want to make sure that I can get anything in there I can, and whatever I roll to get in there will make it work. So the Bestigor, or the Ungor rather, fail their charge, but roll high enough to get out of the way so that the Bestigor can still kind of wheel and get in there. They get in there. All 3 chariots fail. But I'm in combat with Wood Elves, so that's a good thing. They're in the woods, so they're fighting in an extra rank. They're re-rolling 1s to wound. I just hope I have enough guys there to do some damage. The chariot on the right flank charges into those Deepwood scouts. He's too close. They can't stand and shoot, so hopefully he can wreck them. And if I get a big enough overrun, maybe get into that other unit of Glade Guard he has back there. It's looking kind of juicy. We'll see what happens. Magic is 7 to 5, and having a level 2 and being in combat with a lot of stuff. With Fiery Convocation up on the Bestigor unit, I don't need that going off at the end of the phase, so I chuck all my 7 dice at that and manage to dispel that 19. That's a tough spell. It really wrecks your next magic phase if they can get that off. But I roll all my dice and dispel it. Combat on the left flank. He goes first and kills 1 dude. I have Curse of Anra here on me, but I pass my Primal Fury, and that really works. I end up getting through a decent amount of hits, needing rerollable 5s, and just get enough wounds to get through that 4-up ward. I kill 4, he kills 1. I got a bunch of combat res there. They break. I run them down. I overrun to within an inch. I'm just 1 inch shy of those other scouts. That would have been nice. But bonus time again. The scouts on the left there being within 6 inches of a unit that breaks from combat. They decide they don't want a part of any of that, and they flee off the board. Nice. Unfortunate for Chris, but good for me. The chariot on the right flank does a bunch of impact hits to those scouts. It's going to kill them out pretty good. Breaks them, runs them down, and I didn't quite get into them, but I at least am threatening that unit and out of their sight, arc of sight, so I won't be getting any shots there. We'll have to see how the combat in the middle goes. Kind of a spoiler, you can see there's no unit there anymore. Combat here, he has a lot of attacks. I'm Wissensed up. He's attacking in 3 ranks. He's re-rolling 1s to wound. Always strikes first. He just really flub-a-ramas here. I mean, it's Flub City. He only kills 2. My BSB goes to town. He has a couple of the little wound counters from the Wood Elf lore attribute. When he successfully casts spells, he gets little wound counters that he can remove instead of taking wounds. He uses like 3 of those. But I do get a wound on his Spell Singer and kill a bunch of Glade Guard. He's not steadfast anymore. I have a full rank, and he doesn't have an extra rank beyond his second, so I break him. You can't see it really good here. When that unit in the center breaks, they run off the board. His other unit of Glade Guard there, like 30 some strong, or a little less than 30 maybe, having taken a casualty for some archers, They decide they don't want any part of it, and it's bonus time again. They fail their panic test on a 10 and run off the board. I feel kind of bad for Chris at this point. Um, he doesn't have a BSB anywhere. Maybe that's a smart thing to have in the list. I don't know, but that big unit's gone. Being a good sport, Chris decides to keep playing on. It's a victory point based mission, Dawn attack. He's only got that unit of scouts left, but he's not going to give up. He's a good, we're having fun. I mean, not so much after that unit flat off the board and pretty much gave me the game, but he wants to play it out, so we're going to continue. So he takes his last unit of scouts. He can kind of move around there. They were getting faced down by that unit of Bestigor, but he just kind of swings them around there, lets loose a bunch of poison shots, and kills 3. He doesn't have any magic anymore. I move all my stuff. My Bestigors kind of swing around, negating him going around that way because there's not an inch there between the edge of my unit and the board edge. And the chariots cover angles and distances, kind of trapping them or corralling them there. We really have to do this with fast cav stuff or Wood Elves in general. Crummy stuff here. Fortunately, it doesn't matter that much at this point in the game because it's already won. When this Bestigor unit comes back on the board, that is a Venom Thicket because that's what Wood Elves take. And moving through there, I fail 4 of my dangerous terrain tests and lose 4 guys. His next turn, this is pretty much the only place he can put him here. He moves them there, shoots at some Ungors, and I think kills 2, but he's not in a good spot there. Bestigors charge in to finish them off. They shouldn't have any problem taking care of them. Chariots also get in there for good measure. Beastmen are going to clean up here. And combat goes there pretty much as expected. Those scouts are dead. He doesn't have anything left. That's the end of the game. This was for the capital. Remember, I win. We're going to take their capital this week. It's been a great campaign. 2,000 points was fun. I didn't want to change the makeup of my army. I wanted to play it the same. I hadn't been playing Beastmen very frequently, like I had said in earlier videos, and I just kind of wanted to keep the strategy the same. I think Chris could have done a more good job at using that fast cav, and I didn't really give him a chance to use the Moonstone, but that could have helped him. A little more recap. Here you can see the Beastmen. They're attacking there. My little red flag's going to take that, and we have that capital. Tactics-wise, I think Chris did a fairly decent job. He had some bad luck with dice rolls, with panic and whatnot, and I made some really good armor saves on my chariots early. There wasn't much he could have done different. I did a good job of denying him the teleport stuff. He only rolled 1 extra forest. There were 3 on the board. That can kind of help with shenanigans. But I think I did a really good job of covering my angles and playing the distance game. I did get good luck with those panic checks here and there. But leadership 8 with no reroll is not guaranteed. We saw that here. We've seen that in other games before. That's it. The BatRep 4 is over. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.